fourth segment time. Fourth segment time.
Rabbit hole.
No. Okay, so I was watching this video, right? Or I've watched part of it. Do you know the internet?
Nothing, man.
Do you know the internet web show? Internet web, that's redundant. Do you know the web show? Good Mythical Morning. They do a bunch
Say
of
it,
food taste tests.
Did you say?
Yes.
Good Mythical Morning. Do you know them? They do like food
Food-
taste tests and stuff.
Food taste tests.
Yeah, they taste test like crazy foods. They also do like a bracket every year around this year of like the best snack foods, best breakfast cereals, best candy, that kind of stuff.
No.
Okay, well they're
Well, it's on YouTube.
yeah. Look it up.
There's your problem.
Well, okay. Look it up when you're done with Lent.
Okay, we gotta finish before midnight. I can watch it tonight.
All right. Well,
You look up Good Mythical Morning.
mm-hmm. Well, anyways, so they have this other podcast they host that popped up my recommendations, and
Oh wait, I do know these guys. Wait, what do you call Let and wait? How do you say their names?
Rhett and Link.
Brett and Link.
Yeah, I do know these guys. These guys ate the hot Carolina Reaper.
Yeah. Okay.
They
So,
ate a ghost pepper and then they ate a Carolina Reaper. I do know their show.
right.
But
So
those are the only two. Those are the only two ones I watched.
Oh, all right. So they had this other podcast they started. It's a little bit more serious. And it's not just food taste tests. It's actual conversations. And in the one, they talk about their best friend Ben from childhood, and how he was like the third Good Mythical Morning person, but unfortunately he died at a really young age. Not a really young age, but he died at a younger age. And I was watching the video, and it just really struck a chord with me. And the guy died. I haven't gotten to the reason why he died, but he did get sick in 7th grade with chronic fatigue syndrome. At least in the 90s anyways, they didn't have an explanation for it. I didn't read that much into it before the podcast because I had to take a dump. I didn't want to read Wikipedia on the pooper. But anyways,
You do.
and wow, it's 9:00. Okay, so they were talking about Ben, and they talked about these adventures they went on as kids, and they went these woods behind their house, and they lived in a neighborhood, they lived in a town, and they talk about these stories and these adventures that I never really got to have. And I don't think any of us have ever really gotten to have them.
Oh, it just reminded me. Was the other thing we're going to talk about our commentary on Thelma and Louise?
No, maybe it was, but we'll have to save that for a different podcast.
Yeah.
But anyways, and so they talk about these adventures they went on as kids, and Will, you didn't move to Val until when did you move to Val?
Probably, I think it was 2013.
Well, what grade were you? I need to know grade terms.
4th?
Okay, so they'd obviously Rhett and
At
Link
least
had-
4th. Because I broke my arm in 4th grade, so at least 4th grade.
So Rhett and Link were, they were best friends for like all of school, and then Ben moved to town in like 3rd grade or whatever, and then like Rhett and Ben became like best friends, and they just talk about these adventures, and so like the only time I really got to go on these childhood adventures was when the water bottle and this is why I really struck a chord because I care about the water bottle a lot. And I was thinking about back to when we went on this adventure where we went around Valparaiso and collected loose railroad spikes. And we made a pile somewhere, like, we'll come back to these. Or, like, we went and just screwed around, we just ran around Val one weekend. I don't remember what we were doing. But it just reminded, and, like, I never got to experience this because I lived on a farm, far away from any of my friends. I had no way to communicate with them.
They're outside of civilization.
Yeah, so I just
Practically under a rock.
under a rock. Yeah, kind of. And so I just like go outside.
I lived more under a rock than you.
Yeah. And so like I didn't have anything to do. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm so
Boring.
lazy now, is because I had I went and worked outside and did all the work on the farm and stuff, but that's not the same as like going out and playing with your friends, you know.
I'm boring.
What?
A boring childhood.
But like, didn't you have the same problem where you couldn't just go and like bike over to your friend's house?
Oh, yeah, I accepted it. I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to be a boring individual the rest of my life.
It was the
It's
best
all
living in
downhill
town.
from here.
What, Will?
It's as good as
It was the
life
best
is.
living in town because you could just take your bike to your friend's house. And
Yeah, and that's such a great experience. And like they're telling you stories about this guy and the fun they had, and like they would go behind the house and they built a survival structure. They also tried to dam up a river, not a river, a creek.
You're going to dam up the creek?
They tried to dam up a creek, but it only lasted for like a few minutes before it busted. And they also tried to build a raft and float on the raft in the little pond they'd make. And I'm like,
Is that legal?
It's a creek, and they were kids. They were just screwing around. It didn't matter. And I was just like, that's the kind of stuff I would have done as a kid, you know. And they went and they would sleep out in the woods. I'm like, that's the kind of stuff I would have done as a kid, but I didn't live near anybody. And so, Will, you got to do this.
kind of.
You gotta run around with all the, yeah.
Maybe not as much as because you had to swap every other weekend, and then you also lived in a small town, and you know,
Well, it wasn't as great because of the highway.
right?
I
Yeah.
couldn't cross the highway.
Oh yeah, your mom's a big
Oh,
stickler, bro. I was crossing the highway when I was like, second grade or something to baseball practice. The water ball and I would just yeet ourselves across the highway after
Oh, see,
school.
I would always get yelled at for crossing the road. We live on a graveled road, and I'd get yelled at for crossing the road. Mostly because no one pays attention on a graveled road, and they all go like 60 miles an hour.
Oh, no one. That's you. What do you mean no one? You mean you?
I don't drive that fast anymore.
Anymore.
Remember when you used to go 80,
Anymore,
85?
yeah.
One hand the steering wheel, AC/DC pumped in the background. You're just like, yeah. Do you remember
people
that
do
time?
drive fast though.
Do you
Oh
remember?
no, a slow ride.
Oh,
I
yes.
remember that one time we drove down the gravel road at like 15, 20 miles an hour, going slow ride.
Yeah, it was
Take
after
it
youth.
easy.
It was after youth group, and so I had like my foot hanging out the window. I was just chilling.
Oh, was that the time I was driving back to St. Mary's?
No. We were coming. No, that was a different time.
Oh.
That
Remember
time
that
we
one
were going
time-
80 in a 55 to race them back, but they beat us by like 5
I
seconds.
didn't. Oh, we beat them.
No, they beat us.
I thought we beat them for like 5 seconds, I thought.
Well, they beat us to the parking lot. Because remember, we saw them coming up. So, like, we were driving. No, yeah, they beat us. They beat us for like 5 seconds.
I'm pretty sure we beat them.
Oh, I remember, like, one of the girls I was talking, not talking distance. One of the friends I had there from one of the other schools, I was talking to her. She's like, "You guys, how the hell did you guys get here so fast?" Don't you remember? It was what's her face?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's her face? And I was Snapchatting her during this, and she's like, "Where are you guys going?" Father Bernardo is concerned, and we're just like, don't worry. We found a different.
Don't worry. It's fine.
Don't worry about
it's fine.
We took this other crazy route. Cause like what? We went to
I wasn't going 80 though. I've never driven 80 on that road.
down
I might have been
14th
driving
Street.
a fast 60.
Down 14th Street.
Oh, I've never gone 80 on 14th.
Bull crap. We were flying.
I'm serious.
Really? Even I've gone almost 100 down 14th Street, but that was the
You
passing.
serious?
Yeah. So okay. So my parents, we were on our way to bowling, or they were gonna go bowling for Christmas last year, and I was ahead of them, and this car pulled out in front of me on Waverly Road, and they were going super slow. I was like, no. So I gunned it, and this is back when I only went 55. This is still back when I went 55. So I gunned it. They sped up, and I've got like an eighth of a mile to pass them, maybe a quarter. So I'm like, I hummed. I was going almost 100 when I passed this guy. What? Once the speedometer hits 85, I stop paying attention to the speedometer and I'm looking at the road. All right, I'm only like briefly looking down to make sure I'm not.
So this guy kept speeding. He didn't want you to pass him.
Yeah. So I
Are you
like.
serious?
Yeah. So I hummed past this guy at like.
Is he old?
No, it was just I couldn't tell. I was laser focused on the road. Because at 90 miles per hour, 95, my truck wasn't that stable. So I'm just
Oh
like,
my god!
every micro movement in the steering wheel gets amplified by a lot. Like, my hands are getting sweaty just thinking about it. Because it
Yeah.
was such an intense situation. I'm just like laser focused. I briefly just looked down because when you look away from the steering wheel for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, it's 88 feet. I'm going 90, 95. So we're talking hundreds. We're talking over 100 feet. You're passing every second. So you look down, you're gonna be in the ditch.
Yeah.
So I passed him.
And then he gave up, or you went fast enough.
I went fast enough.
You went fast enough. So he kept going.
Yeah. I passed him, slowed down to 55, went like, screw you, and he.
Oh, you should have slowed down to 40. You should have passed him and slowed down to 40.
No, because I didn't want them to repass me.
Oh, just to piss him off.
So I
Then
went.
as soon as he goes to pass you, you slam the gas.
So I went back down to 55, which was significantly faster than him. And he was like a mile behind me by the time I got into Lincoln. And my parents were just behind him. And I was just like, no. No. That just reminds me of the time every time I was on my way to get my hair cut at Shelley's, and I went side by side with a guy on 77 on Highway 77.
Oh yeah. It was like rock on.
Yeah, I look over at him. He looks over me. He nods. I nod, and we gun it. And so we're going side by side, like 80, 85 miles per hour down 77. This is back when it's 65. May I remind you?
Yeah.
And we're just humming like 80 miles per hour, just chilling there. Both got sunglasses on. I ended up having to get behind him because his car was in my lane. And
then he was like, yeah, rock on.
He was like, rock on, brother. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, it was an
Rock
awesome
on, brother.
experience. And the crazy part was,
God.
though, I ended up following him all the way home.
Oh my gosh.
Because of just the way I was going home. Hello, Rhonda. Because of the way I had to go to get my hair cut. He just coincidentally went down all the same streets I did. He literally went all the way home.
Something else happened when you were coming home to get from getting your haircut too.
I about died.
So is that coming home or going there?
That was going there. Every time I go to my haircut, things go wrong.
Things go down. It's about to go down.
My dad and I went to Skylar to grab his old truck,
Yeah.
and we were coming back with the truck on the trailer and our big dually pickup, and we're coming over this hill on 77 on the other side of Val, and this
You and your dad?
this Prius is passing this Equinox on top of a hill,
Oh no.
and we about just smoked the Prius because they were like right on top of the hill. We couldn't see them. We popped over the hill and they were right in front of us.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
That stuff. Yeah. I've popped hills many a times, and there's a car in my, or like I'll watch these cars and I'll watch this car pass it, And I've actually had to slam on my brakes and honk because they were still in my freaking lane.
I've had that too
Yeah.
on 14.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I've had that
bro,
too.
get back over.
Bro, don't
I've
pass
almost
here.
I've
There's
almost
a
had to
hill
go
here.
I've almost
Get
had to
back
go into the
over.
ditch. One time I actually went halfway into the ditch because I wasn't sure if they were gonna freaking get over or not.
So there was one time, on the gravel road. I was driving home, and there was this van clear over on the right hand side of the road. And I was like, "What the heck is he doing?" And like I honked my horn, and then he was like, "Oh," and then shimmied his way clear over to the other side of the road. Like I was just driving down the road. I was like, "This guy just like turned out of a driveway or something. What's going on?" I'm like, okay, I'll give it a little bit. He'll move over. He didn't move over. He kept going. Like we were dead on. I was like, I honked my horn. Like, oh, so he wasn't paying attention at all.
You know, I'm not gonna say I'm a great driver because I'm not. But there are people out there much worse than I am.
Much worse.
I'm a good driver.
Yeah. Don't
Much-
speed. You follow the signs.
No, I don't do that, but I'm a good driver.
I don't do that. I don't do that. But I'm a good driver.
I'm not a good lawful driver. I'm a good driver, just like going fast.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Did you know the worst drivers are actually NASCAR drivers because they like to go fast?
Wait, really?
Yeah, they're actually horrible drivers, but like
It
they're
seems like they'd
good
be
at
great
like,
drivers.
maintaining
They know how to
control.
control a wheel.
Like they're very good at maintaining control and stuff, but they suck at like obeying the law.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's Will. Will sucks at
Because
obeying the law.
it makes sense. If you're driving fast, they should have expertise in like controlling the wheel. They should be great drivers at controlling the wheel. Maybe not smart drivers. They may not be the smartest drivers.
Yep.
They are good drivers.
Yep,
They'll get in accidents often.
that's exactly what it is. I'm
I
not a smart driver, but I'm a
am,
good
You're not a smart driver, but you're a good driver.
I am
Yeah.
not a smart driver, nor am I a good driver. I acknowledge the laws. I try to follow them to the best.
I
of my ability.
acknowledge the sign. I don't follow the sign. I'm like, yeah, there's a sign there. I'm not gonna listen to that.
To be fair, I'm a lot better at like stopping at stop signs than I used to be, anyways. A lot better at stopping at stop signs completely, or like coming or like playing my brakes at intersections where there's no stop signs or yield signs on any of the spots. So like I'll hit my brakes, look both ways, because so actually, I about got in an accident the other day.
Really?
So you haven't been to East Campus. So I come around.
I just was there.
So I come around this turn to go to the parking lot next to the East Union. Okay. So there's a parking lot on my left. That's the one I'm going to. There's a parking lot on my right. And I see this car. And the girl driving, she pulls up to the spot. She has a stop sign. I do not. I'm going to continue to drive. I have every right to. Not once did she look my direction. Not once. And she got half of her car out past the stop sign. I was like, she's not stopping. I slam on my brakes. My brakes lock up. I almost go sideways because my truck has problems with its ability to maintain any sort of control. I slam on the brakes. She finally... Actually, no, I slam on my brakes, and I slam on the brakes and honk my horn. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she finally looks over and she goes, oh. And I drive past her. And I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like mouthing to like, screw you. What were you doing? Do you have a stop sign? This happens on my way to work too. There are, so when you pull off of 27th Street to go to Menards, but if you do it the second time, not at the intersection by Taco Bell, but like right before the Shell, before you cross the creek, there's that little turn in by the bank.
Yeah.
So I turn in there most of the time, and there's a stop sign. Yes.
We need to go to Taco Bell again sometime.
Oh my god. I was just texting somebody about how we need to go see my guy, Herv or Herm, whatever his name was, who gave us free stuff and told me
Yeah,
that
he's the best.
that I was the cure for cancer.
At Taco Bell?
Yeah. I can't talk about it on the stream on the podcast. We can talk about it after the podcast, but yeah. Anyways, so I always go to this intersection and there's stop signs on both sides. I do not have a stop sign. But people coming in these directions, they don't acknowledge the stop sign all the time. And so they'll zip across in front of me. I'm just like hitting my brakes. I'm like, are you serious? They just don't acknowledge the stop sign. They just kind of look both ways and keep going.
I've seen that happen too much.
That's like, are you serious? You're gonna result in an accident. Like there have been times in the past few weeks that if it had been slick at all, I would have been in an accident. Easily.
In those situations, just keep going. You'll get some money out of it.
No, but see, that's the thing. Though. That's the thing, though. Since I'm not 25, I can't get in an accident. I have to do my best to not get in an accident because my insurance goes up no matter what. Whether it's
really?
my fault or not.
What happens at 25?
They stop doing that.
Oh, really?
And so when it's so if it's not my fault, my insurance doesn't go up. Unless you have really
you have to make it to your 25?
That doesn't happen until you're 25.
Your insurance went down half.
Oh, did it now? Really?
Yeah.
Does Dad owe me? I guess so. I paid for all of my insurance this year instead of half of it.
I think. I'm not sure, but I think.
That's
I
nice.
think it would.
No longer $1,800. Now it's $900, which is still significantly higher than the rest of the human population.
I thought it was still 4,000. Never mind. Yeah, it's still 2,000.
My insurance is $4,000.
Wasn't it like right after you got into that fender bender?
No, I think that's how much we owed the insurance company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you still owe 2,000.
No, my insurance, my insurance.
He got his hopes up. You have to be like, yes.
But that's not my deductible. My premium, sorry, that's not my premium though. My premium is $1,800 per year.
Sorry to get your hopes up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think it goes down till next year. Because that's when
That's 3 years, right?
No, next year, that's when my rollover accident goes off my record. And then the year
every 3 years, right?
Yeah. And then the year after that, my incident in the parking lot goes away.
What year was that? 2019?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that one.
Oh, but that's what sparked the main trip, though.
Yes, it did inspire the main trip.
That's what sparked the main trip.
And now it's just inspired a Thelma and Louise trip.
Yeah.
And now we
It
never
wasn't
talk
all right,
about it again.
What'd you say, Will?
And now we never talk about it again.
We talk about the main trip and this very frequently on these podcasts. Way more than
but
we
not what sparked it. We don't talk about that.
Let's not talk about my stupidity. But hey, almost going to prison was interesting. What was I? I was just there was this video I watched about this Karen, and she hit this guy, and she was just gonna leave without leaving her insurance. But he had her plates and everything. And I was just like, lady, I've been in your shoes. And let me tell you this. Do you want to go to prison for 6 months? Because there is a strong possibility that if the judge heard that you fought with the driver of the other vehicle as he asked for your insurance information, that you will be sent to prison for 6 months. That, or you'll be paying the full fine of negligent driving. There won't be this, bro, just plead innocent and come back in a month with your insurance information and you'll be good to go. Alright? None of that. It'll be, It'll be, ma'am, you're spending 6 months in prison. So, yeah. How did we get to here from talking about childhood fun?
I'm not quite sure.
We talk about haircuts and driving.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
With Father Bernardo.
Yeah, but how did we?
And all that kind of started. We talk about accidents.
But how did we get to the car? How did we get to driving for youth group from?
We were talking about good and bad driving.
How did we
The
get
dude
to good?
that stomped.
How did you bring up driving?
I don't know.
The guy that was going really slow, and then you tried to pass him, and he was like zooming.
We're talking about crossing roads. Oh, I think we're talking about crossing roads and how people are dangerous. And I think I made a comment like,
Yeah.
I mean, people
You
drive
couldn't
fast.
cross the gravel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the one.
yeah.
It could
And
have
you
been coming
drive
how
60
people drive like 6 miles an hour down the graveled road. He said, "You drive fast on the graveled road." Remember that one time when it was Father Bernardo? Like
Yeah.
80. Yeah,
Good times.
that's how it started.
Good times. Yeah, that's
You brought up Father Bernardo when I brought up crossing the road as a kid because people driving fast.
yeah, that's how we got to that. Yes. Surprisingly. Yeah. Anyways, awkward silence and Will's disturbing forehead means that.
Wait. What does the sign say? Why do I suck?
No.
Oh, why do I succeed?
Why
I also there's FTC, and I was like, does that sign say why do I suck?
Why do I?
Literally, your head covered up S. Literally, all I could see was SUC. I couldn't see the next letter, and I thought that sign said, "Why do I suck?"
Why do I suck?
You know, the question, why do I succeed, is such an empty question. Like why do I
I like that. This is a good banner. I like this banner. It's a cool banner.
why? But like, just asking the question, why do I succeed? It's like, are you asking like, as in like, why does the universe bless me, or like, why, or like, are you asking?
Why am I
what
so
makes me
privileged
succeed?
in this universe?
Like, what makes me succeed? Like, as in like, why?
It says, I succeed because I am willing to do the things others are not. I will fight against the odds. I will sacrifice. I am not shackled by fear, insecurity, or doubt. If I fall, I will get up. If I am beaten, I will return. I will never stop getting better. I will never give up, ever.
That just reminds me of all the bull crap we were read when I was in
It reminded you of what?
when I was in FFA, and all the like
Oh, your camera quality was like super bad for a moment. You were moving.
all of the one pixel. While I was
Literally, all
oh
I
my
see
god,
is
the
like 4
light's like
pixels.
quadrupled.
I can literally count the pixels now. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god.
No. Sorry. So like that statement reminded me of the kind of crap they read us as an officer doing like reflections and crap, and I hated reflections. They're like, make this legit. Write a letter to yourself for a year from now. And I'm like, bro, I don't care. 6 months me from now is gonna.
I don't care about my life.
Six months from
I could end up in a hole.
6 months
Nothing
from now,
would
I'm gonna
change.
get this, and it's like, are you asking me to forget about this? But I'm not gonna forget this in 6 months. My brain remembers useless information. All right, so
Best part of my day is when I gotta go to bed. When I wake up, I'm pretty disappointed. I'm like, shit, it's all downhill from here.
that's
It's all downhill from here.
That's me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I wake up and it's all downhill. Econ metrics is.
I get out of bed, I'm like, damn, so this is where it ends. It's all downhill.
Just let me
The most disappointing part of my day. Oh, the least disappointing part of my day is waking up.
Anyway,
I'm like, oh, it's all
Anyways,
downhill from
anyways,
here.
we're at 2 hours.
Each
Each one of these segments has been about a half hour. I say we've had a good discussion. I would like to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
We weren't done yet.
I don't
Oh,
care.
we're done.
Still talking.
I have the power of killing the record button.
I don't think this podcast is as good as the last one.
Yeah,
It's
we're
not going to
done
be.
yet. You
Gotta
can't
let
stop
it-
a mid-thought.
Fine. Finish your thought, Will.
I
Be
wouldn't
gone,
want to
thought.
wake up. Yeah, no, on my story, who's the thought? Dude, that's literally my cousin.
I don't care.
Oh
It's
wait, I
fine.
don't think I saw that.
She also sent your streaks the next day, and I was just like,
No, that was a different person.
oh, different thought. Were you related to this thought?
No.
Oh, good. So
Oh
it was
wait,
an
I think I
actual
do
thought.
remember that story. Wait, who was that thought in that picture?
So yeah, who was the second thought?
The second one?
Yeah, the actual thought.
What do you mean the actual
That's his
thought?
girlfriend.
No. So the first one was your cousin, therefore no longer a thought, and I feel embarrassed to say that. The second one, the
Okay.
actual thought. Who was it?
Is this another chick from our friend group?
Thought.
Sure.
Thought.
Thought. I never had a girl steal my phone, so congratulations for having a girl steal your phone. Porn.
You had a girl steal your phone.
Never, not once.
He's had a Phil steal his phone.
I have had you steal my phone.
Yeah, those pictures.
Yeah, remember I took a bunch of pictures.
Actually, you know what? One of my friends, freshman year of college, she did steal my phone. She took like 500
I think it
photos.
was like a couple weeks later till you finally said something like, "Why are these pictures of me in your phone?"
Yeah, here's.
Like it was crazy. I remember I took your phone. Oh yeah, that's the one. I took your phone, took selfies of me, and then it was like several weeks later when he finally replied back, like, "Why are there pictures of you in my phone?"
Yeah, we were gonna. You sent that photo to the girl you're talking to, and she was just like,
Yeah.
"Why?" Yes. Good times.
Yes,
Good times.
good
You want to see
time.
my face, but in skeleton form?
Not really.
Skeleton.
I can't
What?
see anything. All I see is a glare. What did you break that you need an X-ray?
No,
of your
it's my
skull?
It's my dentist's X-ray.
Oh, what was wrong with your teeth? Need braces?
Nothing.
Oh, bummer.
No.
I was kind of hoping you would need braces because that'd be a fun video. I've always wanted to see how braces get installed.
They let you be there. That's like a
Nope,
3-hour
they won't
process.
I've not. We're not. I mean, I'd love to. I've got 3 hours to kill.
That's 3 hours.
I've
I
got
remember
3
I
hours.
watched like
to
an entire Christmas. I got mine put on like holiday season. It was like a whole Christmas movie I watched. And the movie finished, and they still weren't done. Oh my
You
gosh!
gotta watch
this
the
is weird.
Titanic,
It was, yeah, it was. It was 3 hours.
or you gotta watch Endgame.
I could have watched Endgame.
Well, Endgame didn't exist back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Titanic did.
Yeah, that was. Let's see, 7th grade. What year was
You can
that?
end it now.
Okay.
2012? Oh, that would have been just before. No, 2011. Would have been a few years. Also, they would have had Iron Man and maybe Hulk.
You would have had Iron Man. You would have had.
Could have watched Iron Man, yeah.
Anyways,
You are Iron Man now.
oh,
Iron
I
Man.
have that in
I'm
here.
Iron Man.
I have that in here. You look like Iron Man. Let me unmute my
You
thing.
look like Iron Man.
Oh God, you're causing.
You look like Iron Man now.
Did you hear that? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Very quiet.
Well, that's because it's coming through my speaker into the microphone.
You look like Iron Man now.
You're fired.
Oh, that was Trump.
Wait, what?
Oh, nothing. I just have you're fired and
You're
wrong.
wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
So,
You're wrong.
Was it a wiener?
Oh my God, there's this classic.
Was it a wiener? Was it a
oh,
wiener?
is that a weenie? Is that a weenie?
Yeah. Where's the day?
The good old days.
I'm just going through like all of them. Anyways, What is we have
Who's
a
that?
oh no you can't show that. Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment,
You
share,
have to
and
blur that out
subscribe.
now.
New
You have to blur
podcast
that.
every other Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night.